Meanwhile, you can send that PDF file. Hmm? Purpose of evaluation. Very purpose of purpose of evaluation. Yeah. പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് പറയാം. You send? Okay. I already sent that presentation. You can refer it. Purpose of valuation. So let's start. So purpose of valuations. Mainly, our clients are banks, LIC, financial institutions, etc. Then we will do capital gain tax as a valuer. Rent fixation, that is also a valuer has to do. Mortgage, court purposes. What is court purposes? In case of a dispute with builder, suppose, for example, we will be called for a damage assessment or loss assessment. So we are calling as witness of opinion. It's a witness of opinion, not as a other this witness of opinion. So court purposes, we have to appear in the court in case of any dispute. Even in capital gain tax, sometimes in front of income tax assessing officers, they will call us and how do you arrive this value? All those things they may ask. So these two are legally entitled to appear by a valuer. So without knowing the subjects thoroughly, we cannot justify our value. It's a very important point. So then land acquisition. Then called probate. Probate is actually a will is probated. You know, it's not in actually we can divide some property like ancestral property, value it and divide equally among the heirs or 1/3 among 1/2 these things. So then real estate. Of course, real estate we have to play a bigger role now. We have seen it. Then miscellaneous purposes. So there are, I think, 48 or 50 avenues are there in total. I have just mentioned a few important ones. There are more avenues for valuers in future also. We will get assignments from various institutions, companies, and banks and other clients. So it is essentially to know exactly for what purpose the valuation is being done. So the first question when a client approaches you is to ask him, what is the purpose of this valuation? Whether to assess market value for internal purpose, internal auditing, or to submit the NCLT process, National Tribunal Companies or DRT, that tribunal, recovery tribunal, DRT, etc., etc. So we should know the purpose of valuation. And purpose of the valuation is not an absolute thing. It may vary to valuer. It is the way you are justifying your price is more important. For that, all these laws, general economics, everything is required to justify your value. The more you learn about the subject, the more you can justify your valuation report. You have to report your valuation this thing, report. The valuer needs to know exactly what the interest is being valued, whose interest, whether it is lessors or lessees or freehold or joint venture, OSSE, value income tax OSSE, various clients are there. So what is what is their interest that is being valued? This requires understanding of two components, mainly two components we need. Bundle of rights to be valued. So you cannot say actually now, even earlier period, we used to have a clause in our report. Legal aspects are not considered in this valuation. Rather than now, we need to know at least some legal aspects, main legal aspects, what possible by us. Of course, encumbrances and other certificates that has to be provided by legal advice only. Whereas we know some legal points, we can correct them even, because all the advocates or legal experts are not familiar with valuation. So we can correct them in some cases. That is why I'm telling you, even legally also, you should be strong enough to protect our report. That is why laws of real estate we learn. You are going to learn more on these subjects. More and more cases will come to you. That's why I'm telling you all the judgment pronouncements related to valuation. You can take a copy and Google it and take a copy, keep with you. So whenever a dispute comes or a difference, a conflict of opinion comes, you can refer this. So you are once you refer a court judgment as a precedence, it gives more value to your report, more authenticity to your report. So bundle of rights to be valued, actual physical inventory to be valued. Inventory is in the inventory actually it's not in of course you can do there is some conflicts there. Some inventories are to be valued by P&M, some inventories are to be valued by L&B. There is still some gray area in between, like a gantry crane, which is gantry crane can be valued by P&M valuer, whereas the supporting system, it is a fixed in the building. So it is once it is fixed with the building, that part who will value? A P&M valuer or L&B valuer? This kind of that you have to go take detailed discussion with the client, or maybe it is P&M or me. You can also do it. L&B can also do it as well as P&M. It's a gray area, similar cases. So inventory valuation is bit, clarity is required still. So that one also you can, including amenities. I told you, in fact, now the values are supposed to be multi-engineering task. All the branches. Suppose in a very big shopping mall, there is elevators, right? Lift and other electronic sensors, even in doors, sensoring. This is related to electronics. So fire services. Oh, each and everything. A value should know to value the correct arrive the exact value. So we are supposed to do multi-engineering task also sometimes, and your remuneration is proportional to that. Of course, remuneration is proportional to whatever you are doing. You can claim this. Practically, this is not out of syllabus things I am telling you to understand what is physical inventory valuation. Okay, so you be prepared to do any type of valuation if the client asks you. Especially if it is IBBA, NCLT or DRT, you have to ask your resolution professional that whether I can do it or not. They should give you a written statement. These are the things to be valued, because we are not supposed to value a P&M valuer job. We are only supposed to do L&B, land and building. But with permission, with proper, you can attach an expert opinion also. Suppose in some cases, geological features, mining, we need not know the depth of the clay and the output or whatever. So in that case, you can ask for assistance of an expert, a geologist, expert of an agriculture officer, expertness of a other field experts. Depends on the property. So you can attach it with your report, right? Now, normally value of a good value of a good is a function of demand supply. That we know. A good is dependent on demand and supply. The normally the value. The value of real estate is a function of demand for real estate. There are time lags. I told you repeatedly this point. Demand for real estate. There are time lags and space limitation in increasing the amount of real estate. So supply cannot be altered quickly to respond to the changes in demand. In contrast to manufacturing good, suppose you have manufacturing unit of what you call producing buckets. Suppose all of a sudden people need buckets. You can increase your productivity within 1 or 2 days because you have got the machineries and all. But real estate you cannot do that. You have to wait. So the time lag is the main point. So the related terms you have to construction. Then only comes in the area method or whatever. Depends you have to certify cost of construction. Okay. Just hardly his name is hardly okay. It is not hard. Has stated the simplest and most value is an estimate of what price ought to be. A value, maybe one word. I mean, a question they can ask. Who said? Whose quotation? A value is an estimate of what price ought to be. This is a definition of a price given value given by Justice Hardly, Hardly. Justice was a justice. Refers Supreme Court of India judgment in the case of KP Varghese. It is removed from your syllabus now. The difference between one honest valuation and another may vary up to 15%. So I am sorry, this is no more in your syllabus now. I didn't see that KP Varghese case. Before it was the that 10 I told you, 10 case studies are the in your syllabus. You can see, just go through the syllabus, you have 10. Earlier in 2018, the KP Varghese judgment was the Supreme Court judgment. So that is now, I think, obsolete. In that case, here court pronouncement, judgment pronouncement was the difference between one honest valuation to another may range up to 15%. If my rate is 1 crore, my colleague's rate is 1.1 crore, it's not a big issue. If it is 1.5 crore, it is different. It is more than 50%. So it depends. 15% can be generally accepted as per KP Varghese. But I think I will have to delete this one also for time being, since your syllabus do not carry. But for your sake of knowledge, you can keep it. but don't use it anywhere. Uh, I hope you can write it down these points. Justice Hartley's definition and KP Varghese case. If any doubt, you can ask before I delete it. No doubt? Shall I proceed?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So tell me, what is the difference between one honest valuation and another honest valuer? How much it can be? 15%. Valuer Tulsiram is in typing all the answers. Okay, thank you very much. So next one, next slide. You can delete that one. KP Varghese. Fine. Okay, okay, that's okay. Next. So now we go for standards of value. As I told you, we are using IVS standard from 31st January 2020. All the real estate, I mean, registered values foundations, almost all the registered values foundations are started following International Valuation Standard, IVS basis. Values will be used. Detailed study of International Valuation Standard shall be learned from the handbook and IOV RVF for special attention. Delete that one. Delete the whole thing. Yes, it's completed. Delete it. Right now, okay. So the market value is defined as, again, as earlier in IVS, market value is defined as the estimated amount for which an asset should exchange on the date of valuation between a willing buyer and a willing seller in an arm's length transaction after proper marketing, wherein parties had each acted knowledgeably, prudently, without compulsion. This is market value we have seen in earlier also. Here also it is written. I think fair value definition is also more or less same. Next. As I told you, there are non-marketable properties. What are the non-marketable properties? Religious properties. There's temples, churches, madrasas, whatever. These are all non-marketable properties. Then comes public school property. Public schools cannot be marketable. Jail, municipal town hall. Examples: jail, municipal town hall, non-profit making hospitals. Hospitals can be, but there are some hospitals they are not making for profit. They are not running for profit, and it is a business for them. It can be marketable. Okay, so next one. Basic. Be careful. This non-marketable. You can expect a question. So any doubt, you can clarify now itself, and it will be more easier for you. Now, basic principles of comparison. The real properties such as land and building being heterogeneous in character, we already seen heterogeneity. So heterogeneous in character, except comparability cannot be obtained. Factors affecting the market value of the property are, we have seen, economic factors, physical or technical factors, social factors, legal factors. So all the factors we have gone through in an elaborate way. Okay, economic factors, demand, supply, income, wage level, that is more, they are detailing it. I'm detailing more of those topics. Employment opportunity, development potential in the area, cyclic boom, a recession period in real estate market. Yeah, sometimes the real estate goes up, sometimes come down. These are cyclic booms. So that's all. So next one is physical or technical factors. So that is land characters, size, shape, frontage, etc. Here you have to learn something for your practical purpose. The land value always depends on certain factors like size, rectangular size, or vastu compliance size. I will prefer, to be very frank, with the golden ratio site. What is golden ratio? Anybody knows about golden ratio? I would like to know what is golden ratio. Okay, golden ratio is ratio. You can Google it. Um, for not 4.5. Sorry, 1.61. It is 1.6, 1.61 like that. It can type in images golden ratio in construction, golden ratio in land, golden ratio in rooms size, everything. The utility you will get most golden ratio in nature. You will see the hands of God. I call it. I like to call it as hands of God because even a flower blossoms in a proportion to the golden ratio. You can see all those things. Even ancient structures, you can see golden ratio. Ancient, very middle age paintings like Leonardo da Vinci or Mona Lisa painting. All it is all in golden ratio, proportion from nose to the forehead to this that ratio. That is length to width ratio. That is golden ratio. If it is your visiting card or your credit card, everything is in golden ratio. Now one more thing, Toyota car emblem, everything is in prepared by golden ratio. So I think most of our Indians are not aware of it. Golden ratio. Just go through it. Very interesting, and you will feel a new world is open to you because everywhere it is there. You can just put golden ratio in construction, particularly golden ratio in nature, golden ratio in music, even Beethoven's symphony. You can find it out. So that's what I am saying. It's an amazing thing. The branches of a tree, everything in nature. It follows the Fibonacci series, the golden ratio. So please try to understand that golden ratio aspect rather than, of course, Vastu. So some people believe in Vastu. It's good. At the same time, golden ratio is also there. Incidentally, I'm telling you. So size, shape of the building, shape, that is golden ratio. Size is very large plot has less value. You know it. If it 10 cent, 500 square feet land, if it is 5 lakh rupees, the same property, same area with 5 lakh square feet won't fetch the same value. 5 lakh minus maybe the largeness of, due to the largeness of plot, maybe 2.5 to 3, even 50% can reduce. That is one method is there for larger plots, belting method. We will see it one by one. Okay, so that is a so frontage. If frontage is more, the property fetches more value. Frontage, what your frontage? This is frontage, the front side, and rear. The depth of the plot is width inside. So frontage, if you get, you can have a good commercial building, a good use of FSI, all those things. So frontage is an important factor. Rather than if depth is more and frontage is less, the value will reduce. Same size. If it is 10 cent with depth more, less price. Whereas it is twisted, frontage is more and depth is less. This thing, it will fetch same price, not same price, higher price, because frontage is more. It's one of the most important point to be noticed. So so many physical land characteristics are there. we'll discuss later on one by one. There are a lot of characteristics like this. Infrastructure facilities, we already seen it. Prominence and placement, prominence, what is near civic communities, all those things. Building characteristics. These are all we seen it. Then social factors, again it has come. Locality, poor, middle, higher class, neighborhood, well-developed, slum, cremation ground. If it is there is a cremation ground near your property will fetch lower value because of not only because of it's a tragic thing. No, we don't want to see from our balcony every day people are getting cremated. So naturally, it will be fetch less value. Population, prestige aspect, as I told you, Amitabh Bachchan, Pratiksha and all. Religious factors, stigma aspect. Sometimes stigma. What is stigma? Haunted houses. Then Vyakramuki in Vastu, there is Vyakramuki plots are there. Vyakramuki plots means frontage is less. It is like a trapezoidal plot. Frontage is less and rear side is too much. So that is called the Vyakramuki plot. These are all you can write in report if you want to justify a report. Past history of natural calamities. Yes, flooding is the most floods, flood prone area. Property value will be decreased. Then legal, seen all those things again and again. That's why I'm telling. These are all overlapping. Legal factors. What is legal factors? Social legislation like rent control, Urban Sealing Act, Coastal Regulation Act, Transfer Property Act, Land Acquisition Act, any other act enacted by state or central government regulating land. Whenever regulation or control or condition comes, whenever a regulation or control or condition comes, the land value building value will less. This is the basic. Then highest and best use here also it is the concept of highest in short form you can write it habu. Another highest best combination is the valuation under special cases. That's what I told you. Special cases, one is belting method of valuation. The large plot, very large plots in hectares or acres, we will divide into belt. There is a rule for belting, thumb rules. If frontage is 50, then you can take 1.5 times depth. Then the next belt will be two-thirds of that. The other one is remaining plot. Price also can be divided. Frontage is same price as small plots nearby. Then the plot behind that is lesser, fetch less value. These things. So that is belting method. That is called belting method. Then comes method is generally used for large blocks, this belting method. The whole depth of the land is divided. I have given first belt, second belt, third belt, and so on. Generally, front land is more valuable as compared to land near side. So I think example I will show you in the case study better because we don't have time. Landlocked land. Landlocked means what? There is no access to the land, particular land. That you have to find out. This actually lawyer's point of view. Legal advice is maybe wrong. You have to find out. That is why we are writing boundaries. Always have boundaries in all the four sides. Boundaries very important. If the boundaries is not road or approach road is not there, that means it is landlocked. Landlocked. It is locked by land surroundings. So it won't fetch any value. Generally, in for valuation of banks and all, 20 to 25% of the market value we will give. Provide in the assumption, assuming that land is a scarce commodity. Even if it is locked, landlocked, it may fetch. The government will find a way to approach that side, even if you won't get it. Okay, there may be some acquisition for the other land or something the government can do. So, considering that, we can provide a 20 to 25% of the land value prevailing in the neighborhood plots for landlocked. So maybe a question may come, how much will be the value for a landlocked building with respect to market value? You can write 20. If it is 20, answer is there 20. 25 is there 25. But Both 20 and 25 is there, don't attempt. I hope I am clear. If both 20 and 25 is there, we don't know. So if 25 is there, then 30, 40, 50, 75, okay, you can go to answer 25. Otherwise, don't attempt. 20 and 25 is there. There is no hard and fast rule. Only that IBBA computer knows. You got my point? Okay. Everybody is tired, except me. What is tandem plot? Tandem plot is one with a buildable portion in the rear side, while entry is from the front, which normally abuts the remaining road. A tandem plot. I can give you a sketch if you want. See, you cannot directly from the main road. There will be a small road. Then you can enter to the plot. That is tandem plot. Tandem plot is one with a buildable portion of rear, while entry to it's from the front, which normally abuts the main road. A small road will be there to reach there, not directly approachable. So that is called a tandem plot. It will lesser value. Normally, such plots are valued as lying in the second belt at about 2/3 of the value of the first belt. I told you, land abutting on the main road. Some values prefer such plots in order to avoid some values or some clients prefer such plots because see in roadside highway side there will be heavy pollution of you can't open the windows. The whole dust will be in your home. So tandem plots is rare, no? So people may prefer that depends. That is why you should learn. You should judge. You should judge what his clients need or what whether it is he is bought for a higher price for this reason. Noise pollution is also less. Otherwise, heavy traffic, day night traffic will be there. You cannot sleep even. So some people choose a bit away from the main road. So tandem plot depends on your judgment. Valuation under compulsory acquisition. Some points I would like to remind you, not in these things in the land acquisitions. Any person interested in the land may file title objection 30 days. This all we seen the act amended in 84, gone through it. Valuation under. Okay. Okay. So these are all these points we are already discussed. Then miscellaneous purpose again mortgage, insurance, liquidation practice, partitioning, easements, time sharing. Time sharing properties. I think you have to learn something about time sharing, but we don't have time now to go into details. I will try to next class or next week or whenever. I'll give you some 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 more detailing because there's a time constraint. So we have to take extra okay. We will see in later stage. Detail. If you want, I can or I will post it in your group. Then comes lands containing extractive materials. What is extractive materials? Mining, coal, etc. So that lands to be valued separately. Mining, coal, or clay, etc. These things. Valuation of fisheries. It's a special case, fisheries, how to value. Valuation under Registration Act, stamp duty valuation. It's very important one. I don't know in your place who is doing this, but here it is entitled by a valuer only. That is land and building for registration purpose. Registration department there is no. They will ask for a building value. Building only. Land they have got stamp duty. They will accept that one. But for building, you have to make valuation. Now, corporate valuation. That is because my connection is sometimes going, Ramji. So now it is audible, no? I hope it is audible. So corporate valuation. The corporates would like to know what is property actually worth in an open market and how to maximize this profit from it. So that is the corporate valuation. Corporate value is the value of its net asset. Instead of looking at value, each asset separately, it is easier to take value of a corporation as value of business. Other is ongoing concerns. Beginning of study, this is what I want to tell you. The beginning of study is extremely difficult, but its result is extremely sweet. Thank you very much. I think we have covered almost all the points. Even though I am not satisfied, I have to cover more, I can give you more question and answer session and all. We have time concern. So I will request my host, Taji, to give me sufficient time to the last three classes to explain more MCQs, to question answer session, interaction session, all we need so that their study, the learning process will be easier. The likely questions which is likely to be appear in the exam, all those things. So I have to thank every one of you for patiently hearing me for all this time, and thank you very much. Let me conclude and have a nice weekend. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Tel. Host, shall we leave?